See, I think the most important that the genocide, it will not be stopped completely, at least it will be minimized to the minimum. Palestinians in Gaza were suffered for the last 15 months alone, a complete organized genocide designed by Netanyahu government. So this is the first and top priority for the Gazians and all the Palestinians, and I think for all the people of all the world who were demonstrated against that genocide, that killing of civilians, killing of children, killing of women will be stopped. This is the first point. Secondly, I hope that the world will wake up about what was the meaning of genocide when Israel should be imposed to allow journalists to enter to Gaza and the stories of those victims to be spread among all the world. This is my personal expectation as the first point. I promise myself that tomorrow at 8:30, I will pray in my own way that this genocide against Palestinians will be the last one, and the world, including the Israeli people, will realize that there is no solution via genocide against the Palestinians.
All prayers.
Palestinians will continue to stay here and continue to build their future here in Gaza, as well as the West Bank, and Israel should teach another channel to live in a real coexistence with Palestinians and with its neighbors, Egypt, Jordan, and other countries.
All prayers. Now, from your point of view, what steps will be taken to guarantee the consistent delivery of humanitarian aid to the Gaza under the agreement and at this very particular and dire situation in Gaza?
Yeah, this is another issue which is called a crime of war. When Israel used preventing food and medication, as well water and electricity, and sometimes oxygen for infants in the hospital as a tool against the civilians, I think that there is a top priority for all the crossing points to be open. Not only Rafah, which is where was closed from last May, when Hamas accepted the deal presented by Pence and the Americans, and Netanyahu to stop that track to be accepted by all the stakeholders, including Egypt and Qatar and the United States, he invaded Rafah and Philadelphia sector to prevent that.
Right. Okay. Now, from your point of view, what should be the consistent measures taken in order to be able to fulfill that and to make or facilitate the entry of the aid?
Yeah, I think that there should not be limitation for what Gazians need. Medications, doctors, and here really I'm appreciating that the Trade Union of Doctors of Egypt declared today that 2,000 of Egyptian doctors are ready to enter to Gaza to be a part of surviving the Palestinians who are injured and were not allowed to join any hospital outside of Gaza. I'm sorry for that. There wasn't hospital in Gaza. They cannot be able to join a suitable hospital outside, as the Israelis destroyed all the hospital and medical centers in the Gaza. So the top priority that Gazians is in need, that medical staff and medicine should be allowed to enter to Gaza to compensate what Israel are committed of crimes of killing hundreds of Palestinian doctors and nurses and damaging hundreds of Palestinian ambulances. Of course.
So we're speaking here about the ability of the international community to mount its pressures on Israel to carry out with such measures. Now, how can from a broader aspect. How can the ceasefire agreement succeed, or how will its success contribute to the impacting the broader Middle East stability?
See, first of all, there is agreement. This is agreement of ceasefire, which contains 3 stages. But I hope that Israel, which was imposed by Trump, after the deep hesitation of Biden administration of imposing Israel to accept the same agreement last May, July, and either the declaration of Biden himself. He declared an initiative, and Hamas and the resistance groups accepted that, including Egypt and Qatar and all the Arab countries. But Netanyahu refused that, and as I said, he invaded Rafah to prevent not only the initiative to be succeeded, but to prevent any kind of humanitarian and medical aid to enter. And he used the need of medical and humanitarian aid as a tool, as a kind of war instrument against the Palestinians. So what I'm expecting, that this should be stopped. I hope that Israel will respect, and Netanyahu will not jump to the second stage to only to search for a kind of violation to try to continue the war. This is the responsibility of the stakeholders, mediators, and the United States, who are putting their signature as a guaranteed country for the full implementation of the ceasefire agreement.
Now, from your point of view here, considering Israel's track record of not fulfilling commitments, can this agreement withstand and remain sustainable?
Yes, I think yes, unless Netanyahu will try, as always, not only Netanyahu, all the Israeli government in all their history, they were not respecting any kind of agreements. And I think that the war itself against Gaza was a result that Israel is not implementing and not respecting what was called Oslo Agreement, which was entitled to end the occupation, entitled to allow Palestinians to exercise their right in self-determination. Mm-hmm. So I'm expecting that Netanyahu will try to create a violation and will put all the mediators, stakeholders in trouble. I am hoping that he will not.
No, we're not hoping for that. From your point of view, sir, what role will the international organization play in monitoring the construction efforts?
See, I think, yes, we are welcoming all the assistance of all the world, either international organizations, countries, Arab countries, European countries, either United States to be a facilitator for that. But I think that the first step which should be taken is a Palestinian step. Palestinians need to unify their efforts. We have the Beijing Agreement, which is signed by all the Palestinian factions to create an independent, non-factional government accepted by all the factions to take the responsibility. It was entitled to be a facilitator or at least a supporter for the ceasefire to be concluded either in May or June or July. But it's late, but it's more good than never. Now we need a Palestinian national unity government, independent one, accepted by all the factions, but to be allowed to work independently to cooperate with the Arab countries, with the international community, to first to facilitate as a Palestinian agreed address, to facilitate the passage of humanitarian and medical aid to help Palestinians to have a kind of homes, either to be
Yes,
not permanent,
indeed. Indeed, Mr. Gamal.
to the construction, and I hope that our brothers, the Egyptian and the Qataris, will be facilitator as they succeeded to achieve this agreement between Hamas and Israel. We are in top priority to achieve more important agreement between the PA and Hamas and other factions to create this kind of agreement. Yesterday before tomorrow, today before tomorrow,